I enlisted in the Army in 1965. Went through jump school and was assigned to the 325th Infantry in the 82nd Airborne. Spent time there, and I had good scores. They wanted me to go to OCS. They kept asking me, so I said, okay. I applied for OCS, and they sent me to engineer OCS. So I came back from OCS to Fort Bragg, and I was at basic training when they had basic training here. And then I put in a transfer to go back to the 82nd, and that was approved, and I went to the 307th Engineers. I commanded a platoon in the 618th Engineer Company, 1st Platoon. Then after that tour, I was getting ready to go to Vietnam, and so I went through jungle school in Panama and off to Vietnam. My first job as a platoon leader, we did mine sweeps down in the Delta part of Vietnam, and then after six months there, we came back to the base camp called Dong Tan, where the 9th Division was, and I was reassigned as the Rome Plow company commander at 501st Engineer Company. It was a land clearing company that had 30 armored bulldozers, D7 bulldozers, and our mission would be either to clear fields of fire from the road 200 meters, or clear areas for base camps, or go in and look for the enemy base camps in the middle of the areas like War Zone C, War Zone D, Hobo Woods, Boloy Woods. And I would work with various infantry units such as 9th Division, 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment, 25th Division, and 1st Division. Okay, I provided some pictures of my experience in Vietnam with the Rome Plow team. Some of these pictures, we were working outside a Cu Chi, which is the main base for the 25th Division, a little town called Trang Bang. You may know it by some books that came out called The Tunnels of Cu Chi. There were many tunnels in that area which we found. And the plows would cut back the foliage. We were looking for enemy caches and also enemy bunkers, and also clearing fields of fire. The D7 dozer was, it's called a Rome Plow, basically because the blade, which makes it very unique, was manufactured in Rome, Georgia. That's the company, and it has a unique blade where it doesn't dig in like a regular bulldozer blade. It's very sharp, and it's designed to cut foliage and heavy brush. One picture we were outside of Trang Bang. We ran into enemy contact, and the pictures show unique footage of people scurrying around and dodging bullets, and also one picture has an RPG detonating next to one of the 25th Division APCs. I believe the unit was the Triple Deuce, the 2nd and the 22nd. I worked with the Triple Deuce, the 1st of the 5th, and the 4th of the 23rd. The 4th of the 23rd was up near Tay Ninh. And the other pictures show the men on the APCs, and we would stay in contact with radio. My lead plow would have a radio, and I usually control them from a helicopter. It was usually an OH-6, a little bird, and I could fly directly over them and guide them into making a rectangular cut. We would make the cut, and the other plows behind the lead plow would be an echelon, and we would make a good cut, and then the infantry would outpost on where we made the rectangle, and then we would keep cutting it until all the foliage was cut down. After my Vietnam tour, I extended over to go to Special Forces, and then went to Vietnam with Special Forces. So I had a team in Vietnam with Special Forces in Tu Quoc. It was up in the highlands. And then when I came back from there, I went back to the 307th Engineers, where I commanded Charlie Company, and then I was also the S3 of the battalion for 1 year. So then the Army sent me back to school to get my degree. I went to the University of Missouri at Rolla, got my engineer degree, and went to Korea. I commanded Charlie Company's 2nd Engineers, and we participated in the Churi Mule in 1976 at Panmunjom. Came back, stayed at Bragg again, was with the Readiness Group, and finally was the S3 again, and the Assistant Division Engineer for the 82nd. Next, I went to the Commanded General Staff College, and then I went to Germany with my family. We spent 3 years in Germany. I worked at DESOPS USERA. I was Emergency Action Officer there, and then I worked Current Ops the last part of my tour. So I came back to Bragg again. I was with the Readiness Group, where I supported the National Guard in North Carolina, and one Special Forces company that was reserve. So, and then I went back to Korea again, and this was now 86. I went to 86. I was the Deputy Engineer for the Combined Field Army, where I worked for a ROC 06, a colonel, but I was rated by a 1-star American and a 3-star American general. I was fortunate enough to get rated by General Reimer and General Moore. So I came back from Korea. I was going to go to the 20th Brigade, but there was a job open in the Special Warfare Center, and I was asked if I would change branches to go to the Special Forces, which when they were forming the branch, and that's what I did. And so I worked at the SWIC, and then I was at the Special Forces Command, and I finished my career as the IG for the Special Forces Command. I retired in 1995, and then I went to work as a contractor with the Army. I worked at the Special Warfare Center and with JSOC for 19 years, and now I'm retired. That's it. So there is a good career in the military, and even if you don't stay, your time in the military helps build character and just a better person.